Walter Hundley was the my first director of the Model Cities program. Very competent guy, also very attuned to central area needs. I would have to say that he's the reason why the Model Cities program was the success that it was. In many cities, it was not a success. In many cities, the community groups were very venal, and there was a lot of money just disappeared and was misspent, spent badly. We had several mistakes, very public mistakes, but Walt moved immediately to correct them. He was not intimidated. I recall a meeting that Walt set up with me in my office because several of the community groups wanted to meet with me, and he agreed that he would set up the meeting with me. And in fact, I believe it was a couple of these Black Panthers. I can't remember the guy's name. But anyway, it was not the Black Panthers, the Black contractors. And so he set up the meeting. And Walter met me up beforehand to kind of advise me about what to expect and who was going to be there. And this one, when they arrived on the scene, one of the guys, who I would not identify right now because I think he may still be around, I don't know, I haven't heard from him in years, but one of these guys leaned back in the chair in my office. There were 5, 6 of us there, to display basically that he had this weapon. And Walter saw that. He jumped out of his chair. He says, "Mayor, this meeting is over." Hadn't started yet. He said, "I'm going out in front and call your policeman, bodyguard, who was always there, particularly at those times." And he said, "If these guys are not out of here immediately," he said, "I'm going to have them arrested for coming into your office and trying to intimidate you." Well, they left immediately. They probably didn't. He probably did not have a permit. I don't know. Immaterial. But anyway, Walter was that kind of a guy, and that's why he had integrity. The program had integrity, and why it was a success here, whereas it was not in some other places.
Were you criticized here by other communities outside of the African American communities of not having access to some of the benefits of Model Cities?
Yes, and subsequently, when they enlarged the Model Cities program on a federal level, we added, I think it was either 2 or 3 other neighborhoods. And then we were criticized by the African American or the central area community because they saw the pot diluted because it was going to go into some of the other communities. But it did solve a lot of the problems that were caused by some of the other poorer communities, particularly way out in Rainier Valley, who felt that they were not being adequately represented and involved in the program.